my co-host. Let's see if my co-host is already with us. We have Manchester. Manchester, I'm going to bring you in just 1 minute. Waiting for my co-host to join me. Big up yourself, Nicole. Hope you had a wonderful week. Emric, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Emric. Yes, I. Shout outs. Who else we have here joining us? Yeah, man. Share the live, folks. Share the live. Again, man, let's run this one from top again. Big tune for 2024. Yes, man. Loving it and feeling it.
I going crazy.
I going mad. I going crazy.
I going mad. I going crazy.
Yes, Aya.
I going crazy.
We're gonna go right into it early.
Crisis in this country. Rising daily.
Yes, man.
Going crazy.
Reality.
Going mad.
Shout out to Must Bus TV. Folks, if you haven't yet subscribe to Must Bus TV. That's where you get all the entertainment, news, and reviews. Yeah, alright. So, I'm going to get started early because I don't want to lose the man of the hour. As we wait for the audience to build up, let me just try to get the other page online as well, and then we'll get right into it tonight. Yeah, man. Big. When we say big tune. Big tune. Manchester at the carnival, you know. Yeah, man. Going mad. I'm going crazy. That's a good crazy though. Alright, so let's just get the other page on here. I going crazy, I going mad. You know already Lucian time. It's hard to get people to log on for the right time, you know? Okay, so we are live on both channels now. And we're about to get started. I'm gonna try to bring in the man Mantius. And we'll get others to join us as we build up. Let's see. I'm going mad. Yes. Greetings as we get right into it, man. Right into it as we say. Yeah, man. Welcome, Manchester. Welcome, my brother.
Yes.
Welcome.
I'm here.
Welcome to the Sunday live stream show, man. How you doing, my brother?
I am great. Let me start with this. I've been here since 4. It's 5 here, bro.
Oh, my apologies. Wow.
I know. So I said something. I said you probably got the time mixed up. That's understandable.
But we normally say 9 p.m. UK time, which is it's just 9 now, and we were told it's 4 p.m. in Lucia.
I don't know, but it's 5. So I asked. I went on my TV. I asked for Siri or one of these, what time it is, and they said it was minutes to 9 in the UK. So so it's only 4 hours difference. Your time changed.
My apologies, because from last year we've been doing this, but we started out at 9, saying 3 o'clock. But I can't remember who came on and said it was actually 4 o'clock in St. Lucia. So we've been going on that. We've been going on that all this time.
Yeah, it's after 5 now.
Wow.
But that's all right, man.
Apologies. Well, I still appreciate you joining in first, you know.
That's fine.
Really, really and truly. Say it again?
No, that's fine. Continue.
Wonderful. So I just want to do a few shout outs as we have Dale in the house. Big up yourself, Dale. Dale is somewhere in the UK. Christine, big up yourself. Christine's also in the UK. Crazy K in the US. Big up yourself, Crazy K. Hope you'll join us as well in a little bit. So Manchester, welcome. It's been ages since we've actually seen each other face to face. You know, I could see you keeping strong and healthy, and you have your youth and you have all your things going for you, man. It's wonderful, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. I remember, with the band TEM.
Right, back in the good old days.
Bro, I miss you guys, bro. That was a great period, a great era, man, with
in
TEM.
music. In
And
music.
you know what I loved about TEM? What I love is the love. The love that you guys gave, you know, we were free to come there, hold the mic. I remember you guys playing at the casino and we could just have held the mic and freestyle and do our thing. Wow, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that sort of thing doesn't happen anymore in St. Lucia?
No, that doesn't happen, bro. That doesn't happen. There's a big void. There's a big gap. You know, like, yeah, that doesn't happen, bro. You don't have any bands playing anywhere where the artist could take the mic and no, that is not happening. There is no real music scene apart from the hotels. And you know, during carnival time, people do their thing, and at jazz time, people do their thing. But yeah, that is missing, and I really miss that.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Welcome, X.
It's the X. What's up? What's up?
I'm good. Tonight we're in trouble, you know. We're in trouble, X, because he's been waiting for us an hour. Because we say 9 o'clock UK, 4 o'clock in St. Lucia, but it was actually we're actually an hour behind.
Yeah.
That's true. 5 o'clock there now.
I'm also an hour ahead of you.
Wow.
Oh, what part are you?
I'm in Switzerland.
Oh, you're in Switzerland. That's true. That's
true.
Yeah. Wow.
That's true. So it's after 10 for you. Yeah.
Wow. So as we get into things, Mantius, I want to first congratulate you on that big tune. That's an amazing way to start off the year. You set out the pace. Everybody will have to either go to the drawing board, revisit what they're already doing, or come with a good great game plan.
Yeah.
How does it feel to make a statement so big so early in the year?
Bro, thanks to the Most High. Because you know we always trying to get that song. You know, and sometimes you write so many songs. What people don't understand, when you hear a song, the artist has many songs that you have not heard.
True.
And he figures, okay, that is the one. So we are always searching as artists, as songwriters. We are always searching. And sometimes people make it sound easy because artists love to go in studio and say, hey, I wrote that song in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about the years of trying to write that song. And then you get that download. I see that something from the Most High, you know, whether God or whoever you see it as, you know, a download, and you write that song, you know, in that time. But let me tell you, so it's a great vibe. It's a great feeling to have a song where you're talking about going mad, going crazy, but it has something deep.
Right.
Behind it.
Right.
Not just we on the road, get on bad.
Right.
No problem with that. But at least you're saying something, you're saying you going crazy, because that is not just a Lucian thing.
Everybody could relate to that. Everybody could relate to that. You see, especially in this economic climate, and especially coming off the heels of Christmas, where everybody have to be spending.
The longest month now, this month.
And then January is the month where everybody going crazy trying to figure out how to pay the bills, how to make the dollars stretch.
Yeah.
So that's an anthem.
And I know people will be watching on from all over the world.
Exactly.
So here we have in St. Lucia, we have courts, and you know, courts come in and seize you.
Boy. So let me ask, what really inspired you to come up? Is that a tune you had working on for a while, or something, an idea that dawned on you? What's the inspiration for that particular song?
Very good question. It's like you don't even know.
Wow.
Because you do not set out to write a song. You see, when you set out to write a song about, let's say, I'll write a song about this cup of tea or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't connect.
Right.
A song is not like an essay. A song is not even like a book per se. It's like a song is almost like a download. Exodus, Mr. X, you know that. It's like a download, you know. So then it just hit me. It just hit me.
Yeah.
Bring the prices up. I was thinking of stage 2 because, you know, stage, bring the salary up, bring the prices down. So thinking of the stage 2. So I'll tell you, bro, I am always there.
Right.
One sing to receive. That is how I see it. I cannot put it, I don't know how people want to hear it, but I am like, you open yourself to receiving from whether it be the ancestors, whether it be the gods, whether it be the Most High, whether it be whoever, you know, and then boom, they give it to you.
Right.
Now, sometimes what you get, like, you don't like it. Boy, let me tell you something with music. And you know that. You write a song, you think it's the biggest song. Yeah. You're vibing it, and then tomorrow, like, wow.
Yeah.
So,
So
to answer your question is being open to receiving is me opening up myself to channel from a higher power, to channel. And that's not the people think you're just talking. That is how I see it. You like, for example, if you're there and then you tell yourself, and you're not about music for the time, you're not about music. Like, yeah, you're about music, but you're not about songwriting per se. The ideas probably will not come to you because you're busy doing things. Maybe you have your job, maybe you whatever. But then when you say, okay, I am in songwriting mode, you will get songs coming to you. Sometimes you'll get many, and then out of that, you will get a song like Up and Crazy, which I am pleased with it. Up and Crazy. I let the people say how they feel about it. I let you say that.
Let's take it a little bit of the song. Obviously, folks, I want you to go out on YouTube and just type Mantius Up and Crazy 2024, and that song is gonna come up. We want you to comment, like, share. Okay. Let's take it a little part of the song there, and by trying our best not to go crazy inside the hair.
Like you said, it's a good crazy. I like how you put it, you know.
It's a good crazy. Yeah, man, vibes. And I like the visuals, I like the artwork and everything. Yeah,
man. The lyrics.
Pick up.
Boy. Bring it up. Yeah, man, I love the vibe. All the backup arrangement, everything. I'm a fan.
Yeah, man.
And as a musician,
you also have people from Ukraine. Just imagine Ukraine watching the live. Because I told them about your song. I played to them and they wanted to see, and then
that's
from Ukraine. Imagine Ukraine.
Yeah, we have Canada in the house. We have Lucia in the house. All over, folks. Ron, big up yourself. We want you to go as soon as the live stop. I want you to go and comment. Hit the comments, thumbs up. Give us the vibe we're looking for, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Manchester, man. No. I have to give you the round of applause again, because that's a job well done.
Yeah,
well done, my brother.
You, man. And
that's not no kind of shortcut music.
No shortcut. And then we put a lot in it. I put a lot in because Manchester is a musician. Well, yes, in my So then
I know.
If you notice what I'm doing, because I'm talking to you as a musician, I'm talking to Mr. X, and then that song is in D major, and I'm doing the B flat, the C, and the D major. That is normally something you do. I always like going up. You do at the end of a song. It gives it a thing. It keeps it there. So that's what I did. And then with that, it's like, I don't want to get too technical. With the B flat, it's like you go out of the thing, but then you on that note there, and so that was well arranged.
Even the jams, I like the I could just envision a band playing it and head it. The tune coming to life.
Yes. Band will enjoy that.
So, where did you record that song?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
So it starts here, but it goes to New Jersey, and the man behind it is no other but the great Christopher Neal.
I know that. I know his
the man is a legend.
Yeah. We want to try. We want to try to bring.
Very good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
With your help, we want to try to bring him on. So, people, because a lot of Lucians especially the now generation.
Yeah.
They don't know. You understand? They might hear and not know it's him.
Yes.
Those of us that's been around, we know. And part of the reason we wanted to do this program, this live stream show, is to really give our flowers to each other as we are around to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the work that has been done, I mean, Christopher Neal has been in that thing, I would say, before me even.
Yeah,
you
I was a
understand?
little boy listening and saying Christopher Neal production and stuff.
I remember when he was by Shab outside there. I remember going at the time with my manager Ross Kadas, and I remember he had his little keyboard and his little setup there, and you know, I remember saying to myself, boy, wow, you know, that's what I want to do. That's what I want, you know, that's the vibe. And he's always been a humble person.
Oh,
so I really admire the relationship that you'll have. You'll have a formula and it works. So just keep to it, my brother. Keep to it. Keep to it.
We have something good going, and when you have a good connection with somebody, that is very important, because it is not just about going to, let's say you have a top studio, let's say, I don't call names, let's say you're about Casey Phillips, which I've done songs with him, or whoever it may be. But sometimes people grow so much that they may not even have the time for you. The time they may have for, let's say, Marshall Montano, they may not have it for Mr. X. Whereas Christopher Neal, a great producer who has produced so many great songs, people are hearing them on the radio every day, but they don't know Mr. Montano. Because you hear about the artist. You hear about the artist. But there's a mastermind behind it. And then you see, they don't really, a lot of producers like him, they don't really want, it's not about the fame for them.
Right.
It's about doing good music.
Right.
So yeah, so you hear about that, and then you don't even know who's behind it.
But we need to highlight, you know, people like that. We need to give them the flowers. We need to showcase them, because even maybe in just a conversation like we have in there, you know, gems are exchange ideas, little things that up and coming producer, just maybe something that he might say might motivate or interest somebody to take it to a certain level. And you find a lot of, I would say, maybe I hate using the word old school, but I know a lot of the old school musicians back in the day would hide whatever they know. They would hide that knowledge. They wouldn't want to share it. I mean, I was working with guitarist, Dominican guitarist. He's based in Australia, and he was telling me, because he did some strumming for me. I was like, bro, that strumming, where did he said he actually learned that from the guy from Midnight Groovers. But he was saying, when the guy from Midnight Groovers realized he was a guitarist coming on his gigs and monitoring him, the guy would give his back when he's playing.
that
you know,
these days are gone.
And then so he had to actually memorize what he's hearing and try to, since he can't see what the guy is doing, memorize it, and when he go and then, you know, so that's just one of the examples of the mentality that we had to break through to try to get somewhere better. So when you get musicians that are very experienced, I mean, none of us are going to be here forever, but it's important that they could have the conversations and pass on some of the knowledge, pass on the experience, pass the baton. You understand? And in fact, that's what you're doing tonight, because you're giving of your formula of your inspiration, how you got that song, how it came to you. And a lot of writers, I see guys come in studio and what you have there, before you play a bit, have a thing on that already, you know, have a thing on that. And they haven't even sit down to analyze what the music is saying, to get any inspiration. And it's almost like a freestyle. You know? There's a time for that. But the craft of songwriting, to have a hit, to get those kind of results, you know, you have to take your time. You have to let the music speak to you. You have to embrace it. And it's evident in that song, my brother. The first time I heard the song, I would say 30 seconds to start that back again. You understand? Start it back. I say, boy, I understand. I understand. I feel the formula. I feel the lyrics. I feel the vibe. And I could tell I was in no rush. There was no rush vibe. And that song, even if you drop that song so early, I know that song will go out throughout the season, my brother.
And let me tell you, because like I said, It's easy to go with just one chord, boom, 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 boom. That is okay. You could go with boom, boom, boom.
There's a
But
place for it.
I cannot be a piano player and a musician and not put it into my music. That brings feeling. I like that, especially when you play it live. So using specific chord progressions, you know, there are chord progressions that are very popular. That is very important.
Right.
Put chords. I believe in putting chords in the music.
Speak to them, my brother. Speak to them.
Let me tell you, when I listen, because I have this YouTube channel where I do piano tutorials, and that allows me to listen to a lot of the top songs on Billboard.
Right.
And I tell you, they are using chords. It may not be a million chords, but they're using, there's four chords.
There's a formula.
4 chords, and they are using it. It is playing 90%, 99% of these songs on Billboard, they're using it. Afro beats is using it.
Yep. Yeah. Even
in dancehall, you're getting it now, whereas before you were not getting it. So that is important. A lot of people, even with the Denry segment, Denry segment is good, it's okay. But then if you are gonna do one thing all the time, just drums, if it's just drums, and you're not gonna put keys in that, you're not gonna put different parts in that, you're not gonna put different chords, it will get
some of them it need percussions, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the percussion and stuff.
Big up yourself, Jonathan. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. Shout outs. I just want to make sure I shout out people when they come in as well. We have a few musicians here in the house tonight, and it's a very valid point. You know, it's a very valid point you've made there. But with the argument of, you find a lot of the producers that may be producing that genre, the genre segment, they may not necessarily be musically inclined. So that is the limitation, you know, in the wider music sounds within that category, that, you know. But live, I mean, I particularly enjoy listening to the bands play genre segment live, because you have few jams, you have few feels that's not in the original.
Yeah.
You know? So
let me tell you something, if we are gonna go all in on music, whether it be a producer, you learn simple things. Like, you don't have to be a piano player, but understand the scale, understand what's the chord, so that when you do your thing, the notes are not clashing. You know, especially when you are a producer, because you're the one behind it. You could tell the artist, hey, that note is flat. You have to understand. So for you to do something simple, it is always good to know what's more complicated, so you could simplify. And that applies to a lot of things in life. So a lot of them think, hey, let's go, man, boom, boom, boom. But do you understand?
I was an example. Look at By Gas. It was only a loop. Remember, it's only a loop. When By Gas until it was only a loop, and then from there I started going up. You know.
From there, you not come with the same thing. It's okay. It is okay, because when I first heard there's a song way back in the day. There's a song called "Jah Give Me Strength to Face Another Day." One chord.
Yeah.
Over and over. I found that, wow, I love that, because you know what? It was something you would not get. Like, you wouldn't hear that a reggae song with just one chord. Same thing over. That really impressed me, because you know why? It's different. So what happens is that if you keep doing that, it's okay to do anything. There are no rules. But if you keep doing it over and over, people will get tired. Because let me tell you something. The chords and the scales and all of these things and melodies. Melody. What does it have? Melody.
Yes.
We're not understanding half of what these guys are saying, but it has a lot of melody. Now, what is he saying? We don't even know.
Yeah. Now that is a very interesting point, and that's what defeats the language barrier, because you might not be able to speak the language, but you will relate to the melody, and that's what you remember. And that's why they always use those catchy melodies and hooks, and it repeats several times in a song. You understand?
We are not saying that it's all about melody. I mean, come on, there's rap music, but one with they put little hooks, little. If you realize there's little, so it's all good to put that in the music. Yes, it will. Yeah.
So I want you to you mentioned about your channel. I want you to tell. So this is a producer who's not necessarily a musician per se. You could direct them the way they could get the knowledge, the understanding. Just let them know about your musical channel, because that's another category. You're multi-talented. That's another part of the Mantius.
That's another. That's another part of me, because I have this piano keyboard guide YouTube channel. It has over 300,000 subscribers on the piano keyboard guide YouTube channel. I have videos there with millions upon millions of views. Like my top video has 9 million views, then there's some with 8 million and 7 million.
Wow.
A lot. And then I've helped a lot of people with the piano.
Okay.
Because I'm a teacher at heart, and then people tell me that I know how to simplify things. So then they could check out a channel like Piano Keyboard Guide if you are a producer, because a lot of people, that doesn't mean they're not musical, because they have that gift, but you could always enhance it by understanding, a simple thing. If you understand C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, if you understand that, you know that gas major, you already know a lot.
Don't really fast that you don't get to them.
Don't really fast
you can identify that on the keyboard, on the piano,
So then you will learn, okay, on C major, then D, G minor, then E minor, then F major, then G major, then A minor, then B diminished, then C. You know that. So, oh wow, I could take these things and make songs with. That doesn't mean you have to become a piano player. You could use I don't advise that for people. I don't advise that for people learning to play the piano, but you could do your thing in C and you could use transpose button.
Yes, exactly.
Then,
you see, to be honest, the producers now have a great advantage with all of that information that's out there.
Yeah.
So there's no really excuse. When technology, when we were coming up, I mean, you have stuff that you could play on, but to have a central unit that you could record all these tracks, limited tracks, edit it, cut and paste, and do all those things. We didn't have that. Coming up, we didn't have those advantages.
Okay, so let's go back. Since you brought that up, some of my big songs back then, make a wrong, a wrong, by abundance.
Yes.
I did that on my XP80. Where is it? I still have my XP80.
Wow.
Wow. I did it. I programmed it on my XP80.
That's the Roland XP80. Yeah. That's one keyboard. That was my second keyboard, and I had that for ages until I finally, so
how many times you took Soca Monarch? How many times?
I won Soca Monarch twice.
Twice,
OECS, that's the entire Caribbean. I won it twice. And I have a lot of trophies. I have more than 2 trophies. I have a lot of trophies because I'm always getting second place and third place, which I'm always thankful. Because people only talk about the first place, but in terms of a lot of second places, I have that. Even when I started,
let me bring Crazy K. You met a girl in the party, make her around.
Let me bring Crazy K as well.
Crazy K, yeah.
Hits upon hits upon hits upon hits, and you're still delivering hits, which is the amazing thing that there was a time where, for me personally, they're my favorite set of artists that I look up to. Greetings, welcome, Crazy K, welcome. Crazy K,
Crazy K, man, big up.
Mantius in the building, Mantius.
Big up yourself.
Mantius, I was saying there was a time when I remember saying to myself, boy, wow, when I people like yourself, Nicole, just to mention a few names, Alpha, the people that I was not just love their music, but I was a big fan of. Working with. And then similarly, there was some, I don't know if it was calculated, but there was so much, without sounding too negative, there was so much stuff that was happening, unfair, unjustness that was happening in terms of in competition and in terms of behind the scenes, there's a lot of, you know what I'm talking about. And I could see how it demotivated quite a few of the top, when I say the top soca artists in St. Lucia. It demotivated. Some stopped, some took a break and come back. So when we have people like yourself, who's still relevant, who's been there, who held the battle for that year, for that length of time, and you're still doing it, I hope it speaks to the others, your peers that were there as well. They could see Manchester is still doing it.
Yeah.
To give them a motivation.
Yeah.
To come back in the arena.
And it has happened because even with Ninja Dan,
Ninja, yeah.
Karma,
yeah.
Some of the artists, you know, Kaka, a lot of the artists, they have said that, oh wow, because I'm in the game,
yeah,
it inspires them. But what I can tell you is that along my journey, I've been through a lot. And that is why it's good. That is why the youths, they have to listen to people like me, because history repeats itself. They have to go through what Mantius gone through. They have to go. That is how the journey is. This thing is spiritual, it's divine, you know.
Yeah,
all of us have to go through this. We're going through the same thing in different ways, you know, our challenges. So what I am saying is that even with that period you spoke of, I could feel like when I look back, I went through a period where it's almost like, to be honest, it's almost like there was some energy over me, and you feel like you're not creative. You don't know why. I don't know if it's back then. I wasn't as so aware of, you know, how perhaps people could use. For example, if somebody keeps telling you
the spiritual realm of the music,
the spiritual realm of the music, I wasn't so aware of it. And then what could happen is that you could go through a period where you don't even know how to write a song again.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And
for me as a fan that have expectations, I'm saying like, what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feed my energy off a lot of what I hear.
Yeah.
You understand? So like hearing your tune, that will now motivate me to go and do something. Well, listen, maybe if I can match it, at least I will come with something that I feel like, yeah, it give me that crazy vibe. You know, it'll inspire me or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without your input, it affects this person, and it's like a chain reaction. And I mean, it's really sad that a lot of the injustice that has happened in terms of within the local circuit, not just in competition, but in terms of like the fight, the opposition, you know, the things that have happened. And when you look at maybe the key players behind these things, you look at them now and like, you know, like, what was the point? You know?
It backfires, bro.
What's the
I'll
point?
tell you something. Let me tell you something, Cash. Flow. Let me tell you something. You see fighting against a man, that is the worst thing you could do, you know. You see progressive people like us here, because we hear that says a lot about us. I call it advancing people. The worst thing that could be done is to fight against you watching me. We here right now, because it inspires that person to do even greater things. You may block them. Let's say you block them on radio in St. Lucia, but it will inspire them to do other things. It will inspire them, because a lot of what I've done with my YouTube channel, which is successful, a lot of what I've done is very successful. So it's by people blocking you in a certain, I call it like, if they block the road, you make the way through the bush. And and you still reach your destination. So when people block you, and backfire, bro. The world is a cycle. It comes back. Let me tell you something.
One thing
in the short term, you block a man. Oh, don't play Exodus song on radio. In the short term, but in the long term, you work against yourself, because there comes a point where.
What is the point of doing that? What is the point of doing that?
Sense. There is for everybody. Why do we think like it's a me against? Like if any one of us here has a big song or a success in a certain area, that means that somebody else cannot be on top. There is room for everybody.
That's right. Exactly.
There is. There
Yeah,
is.
you ever see a mango tree bear one mango and it said no more? It bears so many that mangoes keep falling on the ground. So the point of
Big up
it,
yourself, juke them.
big up
Juke
yourself,
them,
juke
boy.
them.
Yeah,
Whose
CJ.
name is that, boy?
CJ.
Juke them.
That boy, juke them. I like it. That's like the title of a song. One
Wow,
time.
that's a song. Okay, one time. Juke them,
To
boy.
me, I've heard of yeah. Yeah, so you know,
Pick up yourself, Shesh. Pick up yourself.
hey Shesh, long time.
Yeah,
Why am
man.
I not seeing the
Bless up,
comments?
Shesh.
Or maybe where I am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
must say, Manchus,
people,
big
nobody
up
can stop
yourself, man.
nobody.
Everybody wild and free. Jump around and
The life's
No,
speaking.
I'm
Sorry
saying
about
big
that.
up Manchus, man. Like young artists like myself, yo, we look up to you the same way, bro. Don't think like the young artists are looking up to you. We look up to you the same way because, like you saying, longevity, you know,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
and
Yeah, man.
especially them songs with the keys. I remember as a young youth, beating my woman going carnival, and we be in the truck, and hey, and I make a wrong tune. There was one of the tunes I was. We see when that tune come on. I met this young girl in the
Make
party, make her
her
run.
run.
There was nothing like that in that time, and I was like, "Yo, what?" You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and
that's
and
all.
later on,
That
when I start doing music, bro, I couldn't do no progression or anything. You know what I had to do? Go to YouTube and type in Mantius and listen because all them progressions, bro, you are king of the progression, bro. The wild song
Yeah,
there's a big
yeah,
tune.
man.
That's
Yeah,
all
Yeah,
my
man.
man.
favorite.
Yeah.
oh
Wow.
yeah,
Why
Wait,
this
that's
wait,
a
is
but
so next?
brother,
progression. Eh?
you have to listen.
Get
You have to listen to
wild.
Up and Crazy. Listen to Up and
Gee,
Crazy.
I heard that one already. I heard that one already. As soon as it drop,
We
I hear
making
it.
love.
I telling you, bro,
Yeah.
as a young
Victor
artist,
Rob.
I'm a fan, bro,
Fire under
and
my
and
feet.
and it's
All them
inspiring
tunes.
to see. It's inspiring to see you still going. You're letting nothing phase you. You see what I saying? And
Yeah,
and,
man.
and
Yeah,
you just keep on
man. Yeah,
going.
man.
And that they're showing a lot of young artists like, yo, we could keep going. So kudos to you, brother. Big up.
Bro, I am so thankful for what you're saying. And in the same way, I am learning from the younger artists as well.
Likewise,
We have
likewise.
to learn from each other. We
Yeah,
have to
man.
learn from each other because
You take the next
we
step,
are
you
the,
know.
remember we also have to move with the time. So never think you're too old to learn from somebody younger.
Exactly.
Never think you're too young to learn from somebody
Exactly.
older.
Yeah, man.
And that's the
Yeah.
key of
Yeah, man.
staying
Yeah, man. Yeah,
relevant
man.
is
Yeah,
to
man. Yeah,
know
man. Yeah, man.
what the young ones want to hear
Yeah.
too, but still keep your own, you know what I mean?
Thank
And
you,
that's
bro.
something you're doing, bro. You keeping it like the musical aspect of it, like Cash was saying, that's something we have to learn as so-called Denry segment artists or whatever artists, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We have to learn that, and that's something you're giving us. Now you still saying like you have to learn the vibe of what's relevant, you know what I mean? So
Of course. Because you have to stay relevant. You doing music, and no matter where you go, remember they have a ton of people, young people in the audience, people that were not even born in 20 years ago when I released these
exactly.
songs.
And I
They
think
were
a
not
good
like 20 years
example
ago.
of that is Marshall. Marshall is an artist that, back in the day, he will give you the musical, not saying he's not giving you musical vibes now, but if you listen to his vibe, you have the musical vibe, but you still getting a bridge or a part where he giving you the bend over, bend over,
Yeah.
bend over. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then he's going back into the progression and all them other things, but
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
still giving you
yeah,
pull them there or juke them, juke them. You see what
Yeah.
I saying? He's still giving you the young vibe, and that's what the young people, that's what
Yes.
keeping the young people there.
Yes.
That, I just advise them. Listen to
Skinny,
y'all,
big
but
up
don't take
yourself,
a wrong.
skinny.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me tell you, make around kind of.
Listen, was that a true story?
Huh?
Bro,
You don't
no, this
remember?
song, let me tell you, this song, I just get it. I just
Inspiration.
received. It's just received.
All right.
Inspiration. It's just inspiration. I'll be honest. There are
That is one
certain
of my
songs,
favorites ever.
yeah,
I'll tell
there
you,
are certain songs
there's
where,
Because
one I really love, and that was the first year I believe I back you up, Manchus. I'm looking for it there. Hold on, yeah. And that song had caused some controversy.
Oh, Skin to Skin.
I ready to take the
Boy,
Yeah.
let me tell you,
test together.
that song, people, when the song came out, people were saying, well, certain people were talking about, you know, when you mentioned taking the test together, yeah? So as long as you're legit, you could go skin to skin. You understand? But some people only were headed to skin to skin.
Yeah.
And I remember, boy, when that song, I think we did a show NG. That's by that place, man. It was a field. Forget the name of the place. I think it had Saucy. They brought down Saucy for that one of
I
the
remember
show.
Saucy was there that time.
Right. And boy, I could remember when that song strike up, when that song was playing, boy. You seen, boy, all things bend over and fellas bracing and things like that, you know? And slow groovy to have that kind of impact. You know what I mean? When you performing, you know, them little things I observe and I watch and I say to myself, boy, let me tell you, your songs are powerful, man. Powerful.
Thank you. Let me tell you what happened with that song. I tell you the songs are like downloads. So I got that song because the songs are downloads. I'll be clear about it.
Okay.
Like I always looking to write a song and it will just come. The song will come to you. You get the vibe. I wasn't looking to write a song called Skin to Skin. I'm not looking to write a song about that.
Right.
It's just that it just comes skin
to
skin. So it come to me and then you vibe, you put it down. And then, but incidentally, boy, at that time is when they have a strong campaign about condom and thing.
Right.
I didn't know that. I wrote my song before, but I don't know how the universe working, guys. That year they have a strong campaign about. Now they're talking about that. Oh, you don't hear about that again.
Yeah, true.
But then that year, so then what happened is that, boy, and you young, I young too. And then nothing against young because I like young people. That's mine.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that at that time, you write a song. Boy, I got letters and in the paper, don't sing the song and blah blah blah.
I remember that.
I never heard the part about it. Yeah.
I remember
so
that.
Here's what happened. So I was at this office in the ministry. So there's this lady that came from overseas. I was there. A couple of artists were there, and they told her because she's the one in charge of the AIDS thing, and because I'm singing about skin to skin, and then so they played the song for her. Played the song. When they dropped the song, bang, 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 she started to dance. She said, "But it's nice."
So Mantius, do you write most of your songs, or you have a ghostwriter?
Yeah, I've written all of them, eh? Not that I will not work with anybody, but yeah, I've written all my songs.
But X, you put no water in your mouth, but you have straight if you have a ghostwriter.
No. Yeah.
The Manchester link up, we had a link up. I have a couple demos too, so you know what I mean? Yeah. I know the soca season coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was willing to hear things.
Are you open to writing for up-and-coming artists? If, for example, an artist say, well, I cannot write for myself or I don't have any songs. Are you open to that? Okay.
Bro, I'm open to that because I'd love to, for example, let's say the carnival season. Let's just use that as an example because music is not only about carnival. Soca is not only about carnival, but let's use that as an example. You don't think it would be nice for me to have my song, I have my Up and Crazy, I maybe have 2 other songs, but I have my little crew and my little 5 artists with tunes that I write.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It's a winner for you.
Yeah,
how you look at it.
That's true.
It's a winner for you.
Sometimes the pussy the right for. Sometimes he competed against you know. With your own song.
What that happened to? And then I don't know how I've not. Because people have told me that for so long, and it hasn't happened where I've written for people.
Right.
But but it will happen that they will come because you know another thing, like some songs you may write may not necessarily be the song for you.
But what you should do is just network with them and reach out to them wherever you feel like the song sound like. Just hit them up like, yo, I have a demo if I feel like it sound like you want to work. You know what I mean? That's all you have to do. Simple like that, bro.
Yeah,
That's
because
so true.
It's
I know
just us
couple
sometimes
artists that currently looking
that
for writers, you know.
a lot, a
Uh,
lot. I'm doing a lot of work for starting this. I'm doing a lot of work when it comes
songwriting.
to writing. You know what I mean? And it's just by networking and just what I just tell you, like, hey, I have a song that sound like you. If you're interested,
Yes,
here is blah blah
on
blah, this and that, and all the artists gonna be like, hey, this sound good, and then I think I could work, or I don't think it sound like me. That is
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That is it, bro.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, because you see, as writers, I am not against any type of music. I am for all types of music, even a
True.
music, even music that about war and gun and whatever. I am
Yeah,
not against
it's
the music.
music.
I may not like
It's
the
Big up
music.
words.
Grant,
Yeah.
big up O'Neal.
I may
At the,
not like the
at the end,
words, but then
yeah, at the end of
so
the
that's
day,
the
what we
thing.
have to try to remember is music, just like movies. You know what I mean? It's
Just
entertainment.
I love that. I
Because
love that.
there's movies you're not going to watch. You know what I mean? There's certain
I
movies you be like,
love
ah, that ain't my
yeah,
thing. The same for the music, you know. It's the
yeah,
same for the music.
yeah. So for example, let's say I not really, yeah, I take a little sip of alcohol, but I'm not an alcohol man. So
Yeah.
if I write a song like rum, we drinking rum all day and we drinking rum, that ain't really me, man. Yeah, I could take
Yeah.
a sip of rum, but I know. So why will I go and sing that? So I could give it to
But
a man who, yeah, he
but
mad, he don't care.
the crazy song, Manchester. I suspect that go have a lot of people drinking alcohol and getting crazy. Yeah?
But you see, I guess it's all good.
Because
Yeah.
I
What they
know,
say,
I
drink
know,
responsibly.
I know for sure they have a crew. I know for sure when they hear that song, them fellas go be bareback. Them fellas go have. You're already sending people and take tree branches,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
get
yeah,
wild?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you know. But you got to have. I don't know if Golden Up have a mobile squad or what, but you
Boy,
got to have some people on standby. You know.
boy, because I could imagine people going mad,
Yeah, man.
people with the things waving and all kind of placards and things. I going crazy. Imagine like a soca monarch and stuff, and then people with the
Listen,
yeah, because
when you drop that
you never
song,
know,
you remember the damage that song did?
yeah.
Bro,
boy. You know what happened with that song? People were eating grass.
Somebody tell you, jump up like a Tarzan, wind up like a barbarian.
you must say
Man
people
eat
was eating
grass.
grassy.
Bro, I remember watching, which carnival was it?
On
Rosalie,
Boy,
sorry.
imagine, I said she was walking it, that pass that blocked the whole camera. I'm like,
bro,
but
that
I'm a
was
whole
Bro,
crazy.
route.
I took a video. I remember taking a video from DJ Turam. I saw it in stories and I was like, bro, send me that. And I put it on Facebook. The fellas was up on somebody's farm, right? And the fellas picked up a goat
A
or
goat,
something,
yeah.
and the fellas
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
I
goat
remember
in
seeing that.
the air, dancing with the goat.
Oh yeah, I saw that one because people normally send.
That's
Don't
Yo,
blame me.
that
but
will have the
I think
whole
you know what you're
solution
doing, you
going,
know.
man.
I think you really know what you're doing, Manchester.
Of course, you know
Please get
exactly
wild.
what you're doing.
Get wild. Thank you. Since we're talking about the songwriting,
He said,
we've
thank you.
get different songs. Different songs happen differently. Like Get Wild.
Yeah.
I wanted to write a song called Wild.
Okay.
So I
So,
started with Bush.
Mm.
I started with that thought and I try to write it. You know
I,
what happened, bro? Let me tell you about songwriting because we know about songwriting, but let me tell you my story. What happened is I wrote the song. I stayed there. Imagine I was at a coffee shop writing Get Wild. I stayed there the entire day,
Wow.
working on it, listen to that. I wrote the song and then I felt good about it. Listen to me carefully. Yeah, that's Get Wild. Yeah, I wrote it. I feel good at the coffee shop.
Right.
When I got home and I listened to that, I said, shucks, man, I don't like that. You know what
oh,
happened? I spent the entire day writing a song. When I got home inside of her in that little studio,
Yeah.
I changed the
The
whole
whole
song. It just
song.
hit me suddenly. That's when I did the why,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
why.
Yeah.
When I first did that, it sounded like Bro, you sure that's some childish, man? What? Like, you sure you want to keep that in that? So the point I'm making is that I spent all that time, a whole day trying to write a song, and when I got home and then I did it, I see I now scrap that.
Yeah.
But the song, what we hear in there came quickly.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you start, you know that guys. I'm not surprising you all because you're not.
Right. That's how
I
it
think
happens.
I don't know if you're doing it purposely or it's just happening, but all your songs always creating a cultural buzz or something where the people doing a madness or they vex or something, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, good and bad is always good, you know what I mean? The views still going up, you know what I mean? So it don't matter if people making noise about this or that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, boy, me, boy. I don't know, boy. People always talking about me. Whether, boy, I've gotten a lot of licks. I've gotten the negativity. I've gotten a lot. I am the king of having got. I've gotten a lot of.
That's why I say I don't know if you're doing it purposely or it's just happening.
That's a bold question.
Yeah.
Because I
you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like we know is entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know there's artists that get certain things that sit down and think of certain ways to shift the culture, make people talk.
Yeah.
And it will bring you know what I mean? So
you know, I think what happens for me is that I am not afraid to try something and then to fail.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
For example, when I did Bananas, I was a meme. So when I did, because it was certain things, you know. But I was not afraid.
Guess what though? You don't have to pay for promotion. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to pay for your promotion.
Once you could get people to talk.
Yeah.
Once you could get people to talk.
That's all you need.
And
that's the name of the game.
Which flew over a lot of Lucian's head. That's an international tune. You understand? That word bananas. Like Lucians don't say that. Lucians will say
we don't.
Ufu, or you know, you understand?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's an international tune. The international world would embrace that.
World, yeah.
You understand?
That's why I did that.
So it's the mentality and the mindset of the people.
Yes.
When you make music for one set of demographic, it only reaches that far.
That is why I tried with Bananas. I still stand by that song. It is not for our people, I'm telling you, because our people don't understand it. But then if you look at the views if you look at the comments on YouTube, like, because I introduced it to people from America and people out there, and if you look at it, the comments don't lie. The comments are like, wow, like people are freaking out because they understand what is Go Bananas. If you go on Amazon, you could buy T-shirts about that. If you type it it's in your phone. If you go in your Instagram, you will see Go Bananas. That's why I was able to use a lot of that in promotion. But then you know, different cultures, and that's music, and then.
One thing too, we have to I don't know, we don't really have to explain to the people, but you know what I mean, not every time we have to do St. Lucia music. Amen. The market is way excuse me. Amen. The market is way bigger than just St. Lucia, you know what I mean? We only have a certain amount of people. The other countries have millions of people. So sometimes we may get our music towards Africa, the UK, or you might not like for solutions, but then in another country it makes perfect sense. You see what I'm saying? So just keep on doing your thing.
I tried to do a soca in Chinese. I tried my best. In Chinese. I tried to do a soca in Chinese.
Yeah. Wang Ching Chang.
But to me, Sevens have one too. Sevens have a one like that where he gave you a piece of Chinese.
I want to speak the Chinese self.
Oh. Boy, you have to go to school.
Try, but
So, Mantius, I want to touch on something which I've been meaning to ask you that. I mean, artists have their phrase. Like Mr. X will say, wicked. Yeah? Crazy K, what's your phrase?
It's plenty of them, eh?
Well, all right. So,
Plenty of them.
well, I had to familiarize myself. But Manchester had that thing giving you, ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
And let me tell you, when Manchester performing live, and you drop that, you know, well, yeah, the crowd feeling his vibe, he catching the vibe, yeah.
And that happened for me. I wasn't looking for a phrase. It happened like it was happy. I was saying it in my songs, like my early songs.
Okay.
I was saying ay, ay, ay in it. Like I was just saying it, and then afterwards I learned about, catchphrases, and then I say, okay, wow, well, let me just put that. Let me just feature that.
Yeah.
It's like your stamp. So when people hear that, they already know, yeah, that is Manchester.
It works, you know. It works.
Yeah.
It works. It does something. I mean, being like backstage and, like even Ricky D, he had his one to them and, them kind of vibe. And then Ampo have his thing, whatever you say.
Yeah,
backyard. Yeah.
Die now.
Yeah.
Them kind of little phrase. And there are people, especially the kids, those little things, boy, they gravitate towards that.
So back then,
that's true. Eh?
Back then,
that is why
me, Deshaun, and I think Miss Famous, we used to say, Maduno.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right, that is, yes, because I've heard that in several of your tracks.
Yeah, and all over here in America, there are certain people, when they see me, that's all they bawling out. Maduno. And I'm like, what's going on there? Especially Jamaicans, they will ball out, Maduno.
Yeah. And we have to keep doing it. Because there was one time I'm thinking, okay, man, I'm tired of, and then people were asking for it. Even producers would tell me, hey, put that at the start of the song.
Yeah.
Look at all the artists have the signature thing. Cartel, Movado, you know what I mean? Everybody have their signature. Idonia. Back then you heard
it's good. It's a good thing. Because what happened, you know what happened? Well, I could start a little bit, let's make it entertaining. There was some artists who started saying that.
Yeah.
And then people told them, yo, that's Manchester's thing.
Yeah.
And they stopped. And there are some artists,
copyright.
And there are some people who are doing variations.
Yeah.
It even made me want to stop saying it, but I ain't stopped.
No, when you stop saying it, you have to remember, like I tell you, we as younger artists, you inspire us. You know what I mean? So maybe you have to look at it as you inspiring the artists. You know what I mean? That is a thing. We say, boy, that's working for Manchester. Some artists would think of just, you know what I mean, taking a little piece of it and make it theirs. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just inspiration. You know what I mean? Like you said, you want to fine tune it and make it theirs later on in the years. You know what I mean?
Because I myself got inspired, all of us get inspired by people, because even myself got inspired in my early days. I got inspired by older artists like Iowa George.
Yeah.
Because even me saying my name at the start of the song, well, this is Mantius.
Yeah.
I get it from, I got that, I used to wear Iowa George.
Well, like that.
Saying something to an effect of, this is Munch. So that's why I say, well, this is Munch.
Hey, it's a funny thing you say that there, because Iowa George brother, which is Devin George, is a good friend of mine, right?
Wow.
And exactly how you say that there, bro, that's exactly how Devin talk. This is Devin George. Like, that is how they talk. It's so funny you say that.
Wow. That is something.
Boy, you're crazy. But fellas, I have to make a wrong here. I have a little vibes to go on there.
Let's take in a piece of one of your big songs.
Yeah, that's Brandon. I should do more of that now, guys.
Is it fire burn them?
Every year, never come. It's like
fire burn them.
Yeah, man.
Fire burn them.
Fire burn them. Fire burn them.
Manchus, I think it's fair to say you have the formula. You know
Of
what you're
course.
doing, my brother.
Of course.
A young up-and-coming artist would be crazy not to reach out to you for advice, for even a second opinion, or for guidance. Can I ask, have you been approached by any artist that is you know currently?
Yeah, I remember there are times when, like during Soca Mona, I remember Keisha for one approaching me and asking me, you know, what to do, asking for advice. Keisha, big up Keisha. But I find you don't really get people. I know some of them have said they check out my stuff, like Pablo. I heard him say that he watched. So he told me, you know, he watched the Soca Mona. But a lot of people are getting inspired behind the scenes. But to say approach, they mustn't be.
But
don't feel intimidated.
that is the issue. That is the issue. A lot of the times, I mean, all of us get sent music in our inbox, and then especially with some of the up-and-coming producers and stuff, when you hear this stuff and they send it to you, you wish you could have been part of the conversation before it gets to the point where you know where it's out. Just maybe
nothing else again.
You know, and then it could so much enhance just the fact that networking and you know and linking people. So I find like that is a conversation that is necessary. We don't find that much of that activity going on. We don't find much collaborations in between artists, producers.
And we need more of that. We need more of that. I want to be able to send my song to you and for you to tell me, bro, you could, because trust me, you hear with any one of you, you will hear with fresh airs. Why it's so close that it's not that I don't have talent. It's not that Mr. X or my good brother. It's not that they don't have the talent, but then fresh airs. So so they hearing it from a different perspective. So they could tell you, bro, just put that there and then hit. But then we make a mistake of putting it out there to the public, and the public will still either give you licks or not even check the song. We are afraid to expose it to, let's say, the four people, the four of us.
Because we see each other as competition rather than a unit. A unit.
Yeah.
You see? And
we are a unit because I'm a fan of
well, you know,
artists.
The next thing too is the mindset of our industry to remember the way the industry set is like it get to a competition.
Some of the key players, the way they operate. You understand?
And that's what happens. And the thing that happened now too, where we can't really blame the artists too, is because, like I say, is we fall in what we see is like inspiration, you know what I mean? So we see it as a competition in our head. We trying to do a competition too, you see what I said? But that's where it come into where we have to hit a man like Mantius, hit a man like X and ask, like, yo, what is the right way to go about? Even me, when I perform with all these artists, I still ask them like, yo, if you, any advice you give me. I remember Showing Winchester gave me so much advice one time. And I was like, yo, you know what I mean? So, like, some of the artists, some of them might be kind of stoosh, but there's always those that ready to social and ready to give you information.
My experience to see Tush Soca Mona, to see that. My experience.
Yeah, but that's a whole competition though. That's a whole competition. So people, when it's Soca Mona come, man nervous, who eat chat, who want to, all type of thing. But fellas have to go, have a vibe to go do there. Thanks for having me on. We go link up. Blessings.
That's up, man. Give thanks.
Oh, check out the new release. Check out the new release, man. In the ring.
Let's let them know. Let them know the title of the song, where to find it, and I'll post up the link after.
It's called In the Ring. It's now available on all streaming platforms, YouTube, every single thing, iTunes. You know what I mean? Once again, another inspiration. Man just released his early thing. I was like, all right. The floodgates open. Let's go. You know what I mean? And the next thing too, let's not keep waiting for carnival time to drop tune. Let's keep
Manchester, I suspect as you drop your thing that you send how much artists to the studio, you know.
That's good. You say that? That's good because they waited until carnival time.
I tell you, don't mind people, People checking what you're doing, you know, just like I just listen, hey boy, Ricky teach you something, well, let me check. People listening. But you know what? You know our problem as humans? Let me tell you our problem as human beings. We checking thingy, but we will never say anything. We'll never, like you say, you tell me, okay, bro, good song. We take in, and then we're not giving anything back.
Yeah.
That's why I get a lot of licks, bro, because I always saying, you know what I mean? I always saying what it is, you know what I mean? And whoever running, whatever they're running, don't like me to talk like that.
Crystal,
So.
big up yourself, Crystal.
Anyways, fellas,
bless up.
blessing, one love.
Yeah, man. Give
Yes,
thanks. Sir. Yeah. It's a serious thing among your peers, you know, because of the same competitive mentality. I bet you, Mantius, I bet you there are a lot of the soca artists back home that have heard your song, but they're yet to give an input on it, or share it, or give a like or thumbs up.
You know, and there's something about us. I want to speak about Casey's point in a while. Casey already a good point. He made a good point there. There's I forgot my point. You know, there's something about us as artists. Yes, what I was saying is that we do not support each other.
No.
We do not share each other's. Generally, I'm speaking. Generally, I have my people that share their music. Obviously, I can't share everybody, but I'm speaking generally. So if it fits me, let me wear the cap too. Here's a problem we have as artists where we want everybody to share our music. But so if the cap fits any one of us, let's wear it. Me too.
Yeah.
But we're not sharing others. We want the fans. We want people to share. You know how we really want that. We really crave that. Now the public, they don't really know. We understand that more. We understand how we really want people to share. The public, they're about their business. So why not let us do it? Let's say St. Lucia has 500 or 200 artists, for example. But imagine if everybody was sharing each other's music.
Yeah. But that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Because, I mean, you know, you put all that effort into your song and you present it to the world now. And the other artists, they know the journey, what it takes to go from A to B to have your finished song. And then they will possibly maybe just send that song out to you. And then you might just watch it, and maybe at the time you're busy or something, you probably, I don't know, give it a listen or thing. But if we have the mentality or the culture of just, we get that, before I even listen to it, let me just share it. You understand?
Yeah.
Just share it. And put it on my wall. I'll listen to it again, or, you know. But it's so hard. Even your very friends.
Yeah.
People that you know.
Boy.
And then look at the reverse on it. Look at the songs are doing well. Boom, 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 before me somewhere. You can get a pass for me to come to the show, man.
Yeah.
You can get a ticket for me, man.
You know? like that person who is supposed to be your friend, they just asked you for something last week, you gave them something, and today you send them. I know people are busy with their life, so I guess they're busy with their life.
Anything, man, just to just share that. The same way you see it,
man.
You're not taking nothing from them. They see it, just share it.
Yeah, that's it. Now, to Casey's point, if you permit me, the industry is riddled with ego. They won't approach as they should or want to. And that is a good point. Now, there's a ticklish thing about ego. I'll tell you, you need ego on one hand, because for you to be able to do work, listen to me, for you to be able to do great work, you have to feel that Kashmir flow is the shit. You have to feel that Exodus is the shit. On one hand, you have to feel great. You have to know that you're great. You have to know that you are capable. But you must be able to tame it. You must be able to control yourself. So not because you on one hand you have to, and on the other hand you must be humble too. Humble confidence.
Yeah.
On one hand you must know, boy. Because if you don't think you're good, boy, you won't be able. So then that is the problem with artists, where because we feel we are great, which we are, everybody is great. We think that the problem is to think that you alone great. You alone. So then they allow that to enter other aspects of the musical journey, so that they don't want to hear what who's made all already, made know nothing. Invader, what
Mid time pass already. Mid time pass already, guys.
Pass already.
Yeah.
Really? You are going through everything that is happening today has happened in the past. It's just happening differently. You know, we using phones today with our phones, but people were still speaking whatever they're using, whether it be letters or. So we must be able to be confident about ourselves. But for example, because artists, you're supposed to have both. You're supposed to feel you're great, but you must be able to think like you suck. Because how else will you realize, that song I did that makes no sense?
Yeah, you must be willing to grow.
You must be willing to grow. So you must be willing, bro, that song I have, they're not cutting it. You must be your worst critic. Boy, it's funny, and a lot of people don't understand that. On one hand, you have to be able to see your greatness, which is important. But on the other hand, you must be able to tear apart your work and say, that ain't good.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
True.
Yes.
True. Well, this is come with experience, and over time too, because it's just like a young kid. You telling your kids something, not to do this, but they focus. I want to do it. I want to do it. I could do it, and then you see them go, and then boom, next thing you know, they hurt themselves or they embarrass themselves. And then you say, "How do you listen to me?" So it's part of the youth, the process of being reading something. You must fall for it to get stronger and to be able to run at a faster pace. Now you'd have been there and done that. You watching the artist and you say like, I could tell them something, to help him, but your base is so unapproachable or based on past experience. If you try to tell them something, I love to make a man talking with me. So when last you drop a hot song, when last you drop a hit, or let me tell you, I hot for the moment, and it's sad. So there's a disconnect, I think, in the
because because another thing, artists even I don't understand, like I'm bashing people who are new on their journey, but what some of them don't understand is that a lot of the things they are doing today, we've already done. We did it already. For example,
we passed that stage already.
For example, let's say you do it today and you get a lot of views on YouTube. Don't think Exodus or he was Exodus back then, Mr. X or Mantius. Don't think that if there was there was no YouTube.
There was no YouTube. That's the thing.
So you think I won't get a million views in songs like Make a Wrong and Fire Burn Them? It was huge, took over the country. So then they have to understand and don't think like, wow, this guy, Invader is irrelevant because Invader never got all these views. Yo, do you know the great work this man has done? Like with for example, that song that Destroy America. What song was it? When you walk and wine.
Walk and wine.
Walk and wine.
Walk and wine. And that's the thing. I mean, Papa Vida has his program, and I watch his program, and then you look at the icons, in my opinion, our celebrities, and that brings the conversation. What, as a nation, what have we done for these individuals, apart from, in competition, giving them some sort of reward, some momentary reward, but for a lifetime of achievements and contribution to the industry? What do we have in place for people like yourself that are that have been, after all these years, longevity, still releasing music, even out of season, even out of competition, still, what is in place?
Cash, I could tell you, praise Jah, that I am doing music because that is my calling. That is I always go back to the spiritual vibe because it's a spiritual world too.
Mm-hmm.
It's more spiritual than physical. Thank God that this thing is a divine thing where we have been chosen to make music, man. Because if Mr. X, if Manchus were not chosen to do that, we would have left that shit a long
Long
time ago.
time, yeah,
We
that's
ain't doing
true.
this for money. We want money, but we ain't doing it for money. They say, you know how they say something is, if something is for you, if you would not do it, whether it's money or not. When you start playing an instrument, you didn't know, you were shocked when you heard that people could get money out of that.
Yeah.
So to make that point, so what I'm saying is that, hey, they're not doing enough because that is what makes the nation. That is the face. That is what makes St. Lucia St. Lucia. All this music. When somebody asks about St. Lucia, so they need to recognize the artists, to not just leave you there. For example, let's go to Soca Monarch. Yes, artists are competing. When these artists don't make it, I speak to artists, and a lot of them are going for a lot of depression. Artists go for a lot of depression because of the way it's worldwide. Nobody is there for this artist. Who is there? Well, I guess it's just the way it is. And then you must be able to help yourself. You must be able. But to say there is something to appreciate the artist, the way it is, I'll tell you the way it is. And that maybe that's just the way. I cannot fight it. That is just the way it is. If you have to work hard. Any one of us there, those watching, if they are artists, they have to work hard to make sure they have that song that could maybe get them some of the attention and get the worst attention, because nobody ain't gonna check for you. That is just
it's sad. It's sad. And you mentioned about the depression and these things, and this is conversations that you don't really find people engaging. You don't hear about that.
But there's I have to speak about that. There's a lot of people go through a lot, because you see, an artist, it takes a lot to create music, and then they're releasing his music, and then you release this music, and then you're not getting the love. Your own friends won't share. Your own family won't share. They may tell you on great song, but they won't give it a like.
Or they wouldn't even stream it or purchase it. They wouldn't even stream it or purchase it.
They won't even stream or purchase. So the artist is not getting that love. We have to give. So then the artist is not getting that. Somebody may say, well, who told you to do music? But it's just him. So then he feels or she feels low, like, wow, and they get depressed. Like Soca Monarch, I could speak about it. There's a lot of depression after Soca Monarch. People don't make it. People invest all that money. The artists are putting out so much money. People don't understand that. They will ask, but why are you doing it? They don't really understand. You have to be an artist to really understand. That is just something we do. It's just like breathing. So the artist not getting what they want out of it, and they feel depressed. Somebody told, I don't want to say certain words, because sometimes by the algorithms, I know they don't like you at certain words, but they feel like taking their, I don't want to say that. I know how the algorithms work. They don't need to say that word.
Okay, so you made a point there. Our society still have not understood our real value and what we have added culturally and society. Casey, you're making some good points, man. I will invite you into the live if you want to join. Feel free. I'll send an invite there for you, because you're making some valid points there. But I just really hope that maybe our generation can do more than what was put in place for us. So those coming behind, the mentality could change. You understand that we don't wait for government, we don't wait for cultural development or something to put things in place for us. We could collectively, come together and try to acknowledge, if anything, acknowledge each other, congratulate each other when it's necessary, support each other. That's the main thing. If your audience, supports me, my audience grows. If my audience supports you, and likewise, if, like you say, if all the artists collectively invest in supporting each other's music when it's released, you don't necessarily need to be, stressing over, because listen, when I drop that song, those DJs gonna play it, because those DJs, that's my clique. Those artists, them fellas, they support me. They will share it on their wall, And you don't have to be stressing yourself. You onto the next song. You could focus your energy on that. But
Yeah.
artists with limited resources, after you come up with a song, my God, if you had the money to possibly market that song, you know, a good song could just end up just dying.
Almost like goes to waste.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's the reality, and that's things we have experienced, which is why we acknowledge, boy, the importance of sharing. So I hope at least the people that have joined the live tonight, I hope you will the new song, Manchester. I want you all. I'm begging you all.
Yeah, up and crazy.
Please share the song. If you could leave a comment or a like or thumbs up, but ultimately share the song. It doesn't take anything.
And it's good for you too. We think when we give, we lose something. What's wrong with us? When you give, you receive, man. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin.
That is a deeper conversation because they don't understand the laws of the universe. They don't understand how these things work. You know what I mean? They don't understand these things. That's another even deeper conversation. Because I remember there was a time, boy, I was talking to somebody, and boy, I won't mention the person, but that guy is, to look at him, he's very humble. That guy he doesn't want for anything. He's successful, retired, you know, and even to try to pick his brain to get some information is like, you'll figure it out, you know, that kind of thing. Like, your circumstance and his is different, your journey is different. But these people, they watch things in a different manner. What the goals we set for ourselves, you might be watching like $1 million is like, boy, something unachievable. But then people think, you know, they're not putting a monetary value as the aim. The aim is to achieve this, that. And that's what they're working for in life. Whilst we've been taught to earn us a wage, that's a value on your work, a monetary value. So you're trying to aim for those figures. But that is a fraction of what the energy you should be putting out there in the hope of where you want to reach. You don't understand. You can't put a monetary value and say, like, boy, I want to make millions with my music. You know, I want to sell 1 million records. You have to just decide, well, you know.
Exactly.
You understand? You have to think it and put a different energy out there. And when you start focusing on that, it start happening, it start elevating, it start manifesting. You know? It start coming, and then okay, for example, it's like you come and sell a car to me, and then I know potentially I could flip that car and make triple the money. But you don't know that. So you come in because of your circumstances, you say, well, boy, I think that car worth $5,000, I'll 5,000 for it. So the guy will, when you say, boy, how much you selling that car? You say, well, boy, 5,000. The guy already say, well, okay, I'll break him down because I already know I'm building on my profit margin there.
Yeah.
But you come in and you say, well, how much you willing to give me for it? Now that's a different conversation.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So by you saying, you don't give a figure, you say, well, how much? And I start to tell you now the sentimental value of that car. Well, that car, you know who've ridden in that car? That so-called celebrity. That car, I never had no problems all those years I've had it. You know, and then you start building up and putting it on the value. You start, in other words, you start approaching it without a figure, and you start. So whatever that person tell you now, you let them know, well, boy, that car has more value than that. So you put that energy out there, and you'll get more out of it. So if you're trying to sell yourself as an artist, and then your goal is just Soca Monarch, or your goal is just Carnival on a truck, or your goal is just to be playing on the radio. You know, and a lot of the local artists, that's the mentality, you know. My song playing on radio, I make it. They never think of, when I write that song, I want to envision myself, Marshall singing my song alongside Marshall, or Madison Square Garden, or I show in the world. They don't picture that at all. You understand?
Yes, because and one problem, especially on a small dot on the map, which we love our island, but that's just a rock. St. Lucia is a rock on a little dot on the map. So there's a big world out there. You know, and I know, especially with my work, bro. I do talks. I don't know if you know about it, but I do different talks, spiritual, motivational
stuff. Yeah, man, I'm following you, bro.
And then a lot of people. Most of my videos, like the lowest is like 10,000 views for a video. So some of them get a lot of views, hundreds of thousands of people. So I meet people out there. And what I'm saying is that there's a big world out there. You know, there's a big one. You see, like what we're doing here, and we are speaking the English language, nothing against slang.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
We can potentially reach a huge market
audience.
with what we are doing. So let's never limit ourselves. And our good brother, while he said it, let's not think, hey, that is, you know, that's a trap. And if I have to go outside of music, I'll say it, because like I see a lot of us, I would say it, bro, like doing YouTube, and I've been successful on YouTube. I could, it's true, the numbers are there.
It's true.
It's not a brag or anything, you know. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that to boast myself. I'm saying that to inspire somebody. To say that one thing that is lacking is we need people to speak, and it may sound wrong to some people, but we need people to speak more English, so that the market. Nothing against our slang, I mean, Gan and our want to diamond and sing. Nothing wrong with that. But you know, but maybe when we start to speak to the world, we can say what's wrong with him instead of want to diamond. You know, so what I'm saying is that, you know, we could package different markets. We could package it for different markets. So that's what I'm saying.
I find that that's not an issue. You know, tell you why. Look at the guy from Japan or China, or Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
It's not a problem for music. That's the good thing about music. You could get away with music because music. But I was more speaking about. I went from music a little to like when you talk now. Because if you when you're talking, like, let's say you go and do an interview in America, you know. You sound, you make them understand. But for music,
some of them not even thinking on that level.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
So they'll never reach there.
True,
I'll tell you something. I have Jamaican friends, and when they talk with me, pure Jamaican. The moment somebody of a different ethnicity or ethnicity or things around, but the guy speaks better English than me. All the part will disappear. Like, you know, that's true. So you have to have that mindset to understand that you're communicating, something. So when an artist is on a local platform, they should still see it as the aim is to go to the bigger stage. Don't see that as don't look at, in other words, don't look at jazz as the pinnacle, as where you should achieve locally. And a lot
why do you think it's about jazz?
The mentality, my brother. Most of them you speak to, for them is, oh, I didn't get to perform, and they put me on jazz, or I want to be on jazz, or you know, it's nice to be recognized in your local area and to be on the platform to share the stage with the top artists. But do your homework, do your work, and you will travel. The locals will see your value, and it's not something that you will have to beg and kiss. Because you have your brand, you have your negotiating power, you have your international value. So they have to match. They basically have to be asking you. But if you're asking them, if you're begging them to go on that stage, it means that you have not done what you're supposed to do yet. Because that is a small stage. The stage you really want to hit as a solution artist is international. That's your goal.
I always on one hand we will say that okay, they need to do more for artists, but on the other hand, we have to do more for ourselves.
We have to do for ourselves. We have to.
And what do you think about that, bro? What do you think about the context of getting older? You know, we're not 20 years old anymore. How relevant do you think that is?
Bro, I feel younger than ever. I love it. Let me tell you. When you were young, you're unsure of yourself. You uncertain about certain things. You're afraid to fail. You're afraid to make mistakes. You worry about what people think of you. The older you get, the more time you spend with yourself.
It's true.
You understand how to listen to that voice, how to navigate. So you older, let me tell you, it's no different than wine. It ages and it has more value.
Yes.
Value, yeah.
Okay. You know, Michael Jackson, if he was still alive, you know, it would be more to book him as he's older now than when he was in his prime.
Yes.
Because
And
to get him to go out and perform now, it's more.
Yeah.
You understand?
You know, let me tell you, I listened to an interview by Marshall, and it's like Marshall he take a break to study whatever.
He's smart. He's smart.
The man, he's
smart,
a smart man.
He's smart.
Is such a genius.
Yeah, he's smart.
Mate is a high man.
You have to be. In that industry,
Jesus.
it's not just music. That's what people don't understand. They think it's just, I've been doing this for these years, and that has been working. You have to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, the more of himself he gives.
Yeah.
You understand? To physically at a point, you're getting older. It should take a lot more for somebody. Let them miss you. Let them want you. Let them negotiate. Let them say, boy, well, Marshall, you know, are you coming out this year? No, man. Perhaps next year. Next year they check you again. But, you know, so you have to put yourself in that position. But I believe the older you get, you should have more like by that time a reputation of respect.
Yeah.
People should be willing to pay more for your time.
Yes. And I'll tell you another thing. The older you get, it's you, because that's your brand. I watch this. There's this lady, an old lady. She's 90-something years old, and I forget her name, bro. She has one huge following on social media, millions.
Yeah.
And it's just because she's a 90-something-year-old lady, but she dresses like she's 21.
Yeah.
And then she have one huge following, and she's 90-something. So. So there is you continue doing your thing.
No age limit. No age limit.
Blacks look like he had just started. God, sorry to say he
died.
But it was like, he was just starting.
Yeah. And you are right. You are right. If you look at it as, well, I don't refer to Exodus, but a chapter, different chapters in your story. You know, when you get older, you start focusing on a different angle. You understand? A different approach. And if that doesn't work, okay, you try something else. But it's growth. It's growth. And when you hit that stage, you know, you should have at least more command, more thing. Like, I don't give a about what they think about me there, because I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
With the younger fellas that just starting out and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't have to worry yourself.
You know, when I go into my thing, I supposed to feel like a real boss. Hey, this is Mantius, come and do his thing.
Bro, you are.
I already know.
You are.
I come into my thing and I already know my game, and let's go.
You are. Let me tell you, when you roll up, and if I'm in St. Lucia, for any of your performances, I walk in next to you as your bodyguard, as your. Man, I telling you, you're supposed to demand a certain level of Yeah, the live name. Yeah, you're supposed to demand a certain level of you can't be treated like the newcomer on the block artists, promoters, and it's something. Okay, let me give you an example. And this guy is very clever. I don't want to mention his name. Well, okay, nothing wrong in that. Natty Conqueror. Now, what has worked for Natty Conqueror? He thinks so highly of himself.
That's true.
The guy.
The man have a fuse that just burn.
Let me tell you, he has the right, as you mentioned about confidence and you mentioned the ego.
Humility, yeah.
You need that. I don't know about the humility side or whatever. I don't know him personally, but looking at him, and I'll tell you something. The guy came to perform in the UK. Natty Conqueror in St. Lucia never get no police escort that I know to come on a stage and that. Not a big venue like a big field or something. And the guy make sure when he come there, he pull it up. You know, the man walking with his security on the side. It's true when he get on the stage, boy. people writing his face, the security
And
vanished. You
and
know,
that's
but
the
the
same show they were
appearance,
throwing money at him, right?
yeah, and you had people, yeah. So I just trying to show you the mindset. When you that seasonal, you have to demand your respect. You have to come there as if like, you know, you are the shit. You understand?
you
You
have to
understand what I'm saying? You can't come there with the
take a
same
lot, you know.
nervousness or thing. And I mean, even your introduction supposed to be different. Whoever's emceeing or whoever is introducing you, they have to mention your accolades, your achievements, blah, blah, all those hits. Look at hits we played. They still have hits of yours that we ain't touched yet. You understand what I'm saying?
And then you have to remember, let me tell you something. I'll tell you something. There is this constant thing hitting us as artists. I've experienced it, where people are trying to make you think that you suck, that you're not good enough. I don't know if they, and it's not helping you. If you ever believe that, that is the end of you. You can even come here on Facebook.
Yeah.
That is the end of you. If you ever believe,
yeah,
that doesn't mean you're perfect.
Big up yourself, Mr. Michael Rogers. Happy New Year,
Wow.
Mike.
Mr. Michael Rogers, let me tell you, he's there right now. Mr. Michael Rogers was the first one to run my tune. You know, I have big respect for Mr. Michael Rogers.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
As soon as I sent the song to him, Mr. Mikey Rogers from The Wave, he ran the tune, and then he called me, and then we spoke about the music. Let me tell you something, Mike Rogers. Let me tell you, boy, he's a pioneer.
Okay.
And
I'm so glad you said that.
Regard.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
Now I could say it so he could hear it, and I've said it often in his absence. Boy, it's hard to say people like Mike is a 1 in a million in the radio and the media industry of St. Lucia. You understand? I'll tell you a simple story. When we did Wine Pon You, I brought that song for Mike to listen to before it was released. Mike could have played the song right then, you know. Mike said to me, the snare drum, I don't like the snare drum. I don't like the snare drum, Sam. Go back and that's someone that in the business, in the music. I went back, I said to myself, boy, should I do it? And then brought the song back for him maybe months after that. But the point was he gave me advice, which I took. I respect the advice. And when I brought the song, Mike was instrumental in that song being a hit because Mike ensured, you know, that song was ready for the airwaves before it was released. People like Mike, and in my opinion, are not recognized the way they should be. Yeah. And it's that again, it comes to the point that I always say, what do we have in place for our icons, for the people that have dedicated a lifetime? You understand? To building up the industry to what it is. People like that. Exactly. You know, what do we have in place for them? We don't give them the flowers. Unfortunately, none of us there forever. When we pass, oh, he was so great. He was so this. But we don't do it while they're alive.
That's the time you get recognition, you know. When
you
die.
Understand? We don't do it. So I want to big up Mike because honestly, let me tell you, Mike is a 1 in a million. And boy, I just wish and hope that you know, he could really know and appreciate and understand the love and appreciation for his contribution. Because I know I've benefited out of his knowledge. I mean, I used to always go there to list my songs, and Mike would always listen to it first, and then he give me an advice and stuff like that. And Mike, you know,
and it's amazing.
Mike, I said to you the last time, you called me, he randomly called me by mistake the last time. And he asked some song that was played. And he asked me if that was produced by me because it was major production, but it's some other production. And Mike said, go call me back. Mike, that was 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Yeah, Mike, reach out, man, reach out. Let's talk, man. You know, I miss your input and your advice and your, you know. Yeah, but we need to have those conversations to better the situation.
And you know what and he's been there on the wave, and then he's been able, because just the wave, you see, brand, the wave still has that big brand thing about it. And they sound good too, because when I listen to it in my car, it sounds big. I cannot say that about everybody. No disrespect, but you know,
Well, when I think of the wave, I think of Mike. Sorry, I know there are a lot of other personalities there, but I think of Mike as the wave. But you know, But we have to really honor our people, man. And I'm so appreciative that you came on the live tonight. Not just to promote your new song, but to share some of your experiences. And I hope at least we were able to let you realize how much of an important role you play. You understand?
Bro,
Even
you
if we
see,
don't,
I love what you guys are doing.
you know.
I love what you're doing, you know, like wow, and nobody has ever, I've never seen anybody do that. Like the amount of shares, the amount of you did, and then
So
wow,
that,
bro. And then I've seen you've been doing your thing, you know. Some people will not get it at first, but continue doing what you're
yeah,
doing.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And
man.
even maybe
Respect.
what we
Yeah,
are
yeah,
doing
yeah.
here,
yeah,
we could take it to YouTube too, you know,
yeah,
turn the camera around and then
yeah,
put, or maybe use two cameras,
yeah,
put it on YouTube
yeah.
too, and then
We want
because
it. We
what you're
want.
doing there is
We want it. Yeah, we want to do that. I mean, maybe with your help, we'll try to expand in those kind of things because you have the experience with that.
yeah,
But really and truly, we really want to just make a difference. Like I said to I mentioned that to a couple of the producers and to X. You know, my goal is to hopefully come up with some sort of virtual or online um music awards. And
yeah,
and that music awards, I'm not talking about the mainstream artists that are already getting all the highlight back home, those that that have been worshipped. I mean the people that have been putting in the work and that we seem to be forgetting them in the cracks.
get
You
sidetracked, yeah,
sidetracking them. Because
yeah.
it goes a long way. Even just the acknowledgement, it goes a long way.
But
That
that
as
goes
you
a long
mentioned
way.
about depression and these things. So much people is asking themselves, well, boy, wow, you know, should I just forget about this?
Yeah,
What am I getting out of it?
it's
There's no reward.
just
So
to be
we have to be able to be
one.
willing to sing each other praises and reward each other. Like okay, best newcomer artist, most consistent. Or
Yeah,
for longevity.
yeah.
Those kind of things. You know what I mean?
Give people their flowers, man. Help
Yeah,
a
man.
brother. We are. I realize you're a very empathetic person. You know, me too.
Yeah,
Me
we
as
have to
well.
be.
You're
We
a
have to
Yeah,
spark.
be.
man. Yeah,
Again,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah, man.
universe. We have to put that out there
we
because
had to put it out
we
there.
need it
You
as
know.
well. It
Yeah,
has to go to
yeah,
come back to
yeah,
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, like, since we're talking about the artists, let's we think it's cliche, but let's work together more. For example, like let's say we already said that, but let's say I release a song. You may want to ask me a question. You may want to see because you trying to write your song too.
Right.
So
yeah.
let's tap into maybe that same energy. Let's work
Right.
together.
Right.
Let's it's not like oh he releases and then I'm by myself and then
Yeah. The support is
oh,
needed.
oh by the way, bro, you sent me. I know I don't want to make it public, but you sent me some music there,
Yeah.
and then
Well, I sent it to you in the very early stages
early
because
stages.
I want your
Sounds good.
input. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want your
Oh,
input.
in terms of yeah, okay, I could give my input, not now, but then we'll
Yeah.
speak about
Yeah.
that in terms of
Because
arrangement, and we could talk about
right.
that
Because
because that's very
I
important.
heard well, there's another artist that I heard a track of his, and it just inspired me to build something, and I started building that, and I sent that to him. But then he sent me another vocal, so I said, that's what I wanted, input,
Okay.
so I could start singing. But I sent that to yourself and other people the same way because I was like, I need somebody that understands
Yeah.
progressions or melodies and these things to tell me,
And,
that
and
direction
I
if
will
it could
listen to it
work.
again. It inspired me. I wrote something, I wrote something. I could write
Okay.
other things,
Okay.
and then but we could always, it's very important. With music,
I know what you're saying.
I didn't really listen for structure and stuff,
Okay, okay.
but the way
But
music is
because
playing, boy.
there's no structure there. What I did was
Yeah,
basically I feel a vibe,
yeah.
I
You
loop this
told me.
part, I put another
Yeah,
part, I loop it and
yeah,
give you different ideas. Let me
yeah,
see which because
yeah,
somebody that's creative, they'll hear, that part give them a hook.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I take that part then I want to build a song with that part.
Yes,
You understand?
yes,
So but
yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear back what you the guys
do that.
yeah, because
I will listen for that. I was just listening just for the vibe, but you know, sometimes you could listen just surface and then you could go deeper. We could operate as different things.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes I operate like a songwriter.
And again, the point, there's singers, there's artists that want to come in the vibe, but they cannot write. So if we could then now shop a whole song,
okay,
you understand? And then we just ensure that we agree on whatever terms and splits.
We could do that because sometimes I write a song and then let's say I write a song, I think Mantius, you saw that's what you want to sing now. Maybe you want to sing, maybe you are about a different thing.
Yeah.
Now, maybe
exactly.
you're on a different path now. Let's say for example I write a song about rum, but maybe it's not a rum thing you want to push now. Let another man do it. Nothing wrong with rum, but you want another man to admit to that. That's not really me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's why
it's the same way there are certain artists that singing songs that are suiting them, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
that is the sad thing. When you cannot tell them that though.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing, because boy, you see, artists be sensitive. So the sensitivity is a blessing and a curse because we have to be sensitive to be able to tap into and to be able to get ideas. We have to feel what people feeling. We have to be. It's magic, you know. Music, writing a song is magic.
Yeah.
So we have to be. On one hand, we need it. On another hand, boy, it makes us so sensitive that if a man tells us something, we feel the man attacking us, but he's just trying. Every time when I work with my producer, when I work with Big Up Christopher Neal once again, even though I've been doing music, he telling me, no, I have to sing that again. When I feel like that, I record, and as producers, bro, you are producer, bro. Don't be with your artists, you know. Be artists. Be hard with them because they tell me no.
A lot of advice from Kakal as well. When I used to sing, Kakal used to tell me, boy, you calling out words too much. You need to sing the song. And I wasn't feeling offended. You know, I was happy, you know, he was helping me. So that make me, you know, better.
Yeah. You don't rather Kakal tell you that
you're not different. You're not different.
Yeah.
That's why I want my song to be good, guys. You telling me stage so instead. But you see, we feel boys are nice. And then we have to be, because for example, when I was doing my song, now there are different approaches to things.
Yeah.
I could have do when I say I going crazy, I going mad, I going crazy. I was doing tell them bring me prices up, bring me down, because I was thinking in terms of stage. And then so that's when we get back to soca. And bring me prices up. But Neil tell me, nah man. Do bring the prices up. Bring the prices down. You know, bring the price. He tell me do it so, but then you understand? So now that it doesn't mean that the way I was doing it was wrong. But then he as a producer, see, nah, that will work better. So me, I can feel like, hey, I know it and no. He's the producer.
That's why it's important to have those conversations, and a lot of our colleagues fail to do that because, like we say, they see us as maybe at a competition, or they secretly, I don't want Damon to do what I'm working on one day, you know. I don't want Damon to do it because maybe Damon, when Damon hear that, Damon go in and do a thing, you know. So what's wrong with that? Let me hear your thing while you're working on it, so I could go and make sure my thing good too. And I'll let you hear mine. So likewise, you say what I'm working on, and we could better it.
So because let me tell you something. Let's say you hear me working on a thing and you're gonna do something great, you deserve it, man. Because it didn't just happen.
Inspire me.
Yeah. But guys, they have a billion songs playing. You have YouTube.
Bro, that's what they don't get. That's what they don't get. You could never finish music. The amount of music that's out there, the amount of music that to come again. You could never finish music.
It's true, you know.
Exactly, guys. That can finish. That's like the air. You could finish air.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You could finish the water in the sea.
Right. That's why I don't get why they try to stop. If you're doing your vibe, instead of supporting you, they're trying to stop you. They're trying to break you down. They're trying to mess up